Are you ready to put your investigation skills to the test and look beyond what you first see? Now here, one of these statements is a lie, and the goal of this activity is to rearrange these suspects into a number that makes exactly two of these statements true. So the first thing we might do is look at the statements and determine which one of them is a lie. If we look closely at each of these statements, I am divisible by 3, I am greater than 500, and I am a prime number. You might notice that these two can't both be true. It will either be divisible by 3 or it will be a prime number. So one of these has to be false, which means this is true. So we can put a tick next to that. We know that that is true. So if this number is greater than 500, we know that it has 3 digits, and we know that 2 is not the first digit. Now if it's divisible by 3, one of the divisibility rules for 3 is that the numbers have to sum to something that is divisible by 3. So if we had 2, 6, 9 in any order, 6 plus 9 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So if we had all three numbers, they would add to 17, which means if it's a 3-digit number, it cannot be divisible by 3. So we know that this is the lie. So we now know that it is a prime number. And it's kind of tricky to go, well, I'm looking for a 3-digit number that's a prime number. That's going to be pretty tricky. But we already know it's greater than 500. So it either starts with a 6 or a 9. And if it starts with a 9, it's going to end in either a 2 or a 6, which are even numbers, which would mean that it won't be a prime number because it'll be divisible by 2. So we know actually it doesn't start with a 9 and it starts with a 6. And we also know that a prime number has to end in an odd value. The only exception to that is 2, but this is a 3-digit number, so it's not going to be that. So 6, 2, 9 can be our only answer. And if you look it up, you'll find that 629 is a prime number. So now I'll show you an online version and maybe an easier problem, and then you can have a crack at some of them yourself. This is a great way to improve number skills, but also logical reasoning. You have to piece things together bit by bit to work out what the mystery number is by finding the lie. All right, so with this simpler puzzle, we are looking at these 3 clues. Both my digits are even, I am odd, or I am a square number. So one of them is a lie. And if we look at this first statement, both my digits are even, that means it needs to be an even number. And here I am odd. So one of those two has to be the false statement, which means I am a square number is true. Now, the only square number I can see here is 64. And that won't be odd, and both the digits will be even. So it looks like that is the lie. We drag the suspects there. Remember, you don't have to use all the boxes. You just have to put a number in here that satisfies 2 of the 3 statements. And we check. We found the dodgy digits. There are 11 dodgy digits puzzles you can access at thinksquare.com.au/dodgy digits. Now, these take a surprising amount of time to create. And so the plan is in 2026 to upload 100 of them to the ThinkSquare game suite, games.thinksquare.com.au. There's plenty there to do in the meantime if you want to play some maths games, build confidence and mathematical skill. Enjoy the activity.